Everybody, yeah, let's do the news. Okay, it's Adam 22. I'm here with the news. The Super Bowl was yesterday, but more importantly, 21 Savage was arrested by ICE, and they're saying that he's a UK resident. But before we get into that, let's talk about some other stories. First things first, check out this video of a girl who is really excited to get backstage to meet a bunch of cool BMX and skate guys. This was at a Simple session out in Estonia, and I don't know exactly what happened, but apparently she bit the security guard so bad that she got kicked out. So respect. That's the energy I'm trying to have for the rest of this year. First story. So more details are emerging about Kid Buu and Black China. Yes, the irrelevant meme rapper. And yes, I know that this has nothing to do with the Black China fight, but TMZ did just post this article, and it really sort of corrects some of the details that Kid Buu has been trying to put out there about his violent past. Yeah, right here in the TMZ article, it says, police say that he punched her in the face with a closed fist, all while their then 2-year-old was present. According to legal docs, he then pulled out a gun and told her that he would kill the cops if they came. I've met Kid Buu before. Let me just tell you, he ain't killing no cops. Anyway, I don't know. Hopefully this can be the last time that we talk about this buster. I don't know if anybody saw it, but he tried to go at No Jumper recently on his Instagram story, and nobody responded or cared or reposted it because he's so irrelevant and his followers are all fake. Anyway, next story. Soulja Boy having a great moment in his career right now, so of course some foul allegations are coming out against him. Apparently on Friday night, Soulja Boy was hanging out at his house with a girlfriend named Kayla. They got into an argument. She tried to leave. She clipped the curb while she was exiting. Soulja Boy's manager then got into an argument with her. Pretty soon after, she claims that Soulja Boy kicked and beat her and then tied her up with an electrical cord. And she claims that she had 3 fractured ribs and a concussion. Now, apparently various members of Soulja Boy's team have come out and denied this accusation. But either way, it's gonna be very interesting to see how this pans out, how much evidence there is, and also what the reaction is from the public, because as far as I can tell, these allegations are pretty similar to the allegations that have been thrown out against certain members of the hip-hop community who basically became then public pariahs and were just viciously attacked by the media on all sides. And I just know that the media is not gonna do that to Soulja Boy, and it is just yet again another shining star on their hypocrisy record. Next story. Yesterday, I reported on the new beef that is emerging between the Game and Joe Budden. Joe Budden went on his podcast and spoke at length, basically calling the Game corny and saying that he's a lame. Well, the Game heard about it and he went to his Instagram story and he had this to say. At Joe Budden, you can't sue nobody for discovering the blank before you. Hashtag Christopher Columbus head ass N-word. Hashtag Indians was there first. Okay, and then he continues. I turned you into an on-air personality. Enjoy retirement, pussy. So it seems clear here that the Game has no plans on being the good guy in this whole story. He seems very happy to play the villain. And it's also interesting to see him taking credit for turning Joe Budden into an on-air personality. It almost seems like he's really trying to get Joe Budden to start rapping again, which Joe Budden claims that he will not do for various reasons. What's unfortunate about this for the Game is that this doesn't seem to really be getting the reaction that he maybe wanted from the media. Like, sure, Joe Budden dedicated a whole podcast to it, but you don't really see the usual gossip blogs hopping on this as quickly as you would think. But either way, my perspective still remains that I don't really care for this as a battling tactic, going after the wife. It's not really cool by my standards, but hey, we will continue to monitor the story as it goes forward. Next story. So, ever since 6ix9ine got locked up, there's been rumors about exactly how cool 6ix9ine is with Shotti and the other members of Treyway. Well, last week, a story came out that basically suggested that 6ix9ine was encouraged to turn on his gang member brothers because the cops told him that they had wiretap evidence that his baby mama was sleeping with Shotti, his former manager. So, 6ix9ine's baby mama, Sarah, who up until this point has seemed like a pretty good baby mama. Like, she was with him for 7 years. She's always seemed to hold him down. She has become more and more public as this whole arrest case has gone on. But anyway, she responded to the rumors by going on her Instagram live and sort of just talking about the whole thing at length. But there was one quote in particular that really caught my eye where she said, "I can recover from being a hoe, but you can't recover from being a rat." Now, at that point, when you hear that and you think about the fact that this is the mother of his children, I mean, that can't feel too good. She has said that she doesn't want 6ix9ine to see her kids because she feels like it will put them at risk. And on top of all of that, yes, it seems that she has conceded that she did sleep with Shotti, but there's even a video of her hanging out with Shotti while he was still 6ix9ine's manager. Now, the video isn't terribly incriminating. You can see it right here, but it does show them hanging out, and apparently the timeline, like the date that she was hanging out with him, makes it seem as if something was in fact going down. I feel like if she did not smash Shotti, then she would probably be more straight up about this and would probably just say, no, I did not sleep with him, but it doesn't seem that she has said that. So from my perspective, it seems like she is basically admitting that she did it. Now, everybody seems to want to hate on 6ix9ine these days now that he's Mr. Big Snitch guy and everything, but I also think that we should just think about the fact that Shotti had sex with his client's baby mama while he was still managing him. I mean, that is some weird ass shit. That's some crazy shit. Like, if you're managing an artist, you have many obligations to that artist, but perhaps one of the most important obligations is to not have sex with their baby mama. So I don't know what the hell they have going on that they think this behavior is acceptable. I guess we'll learn more as the story unfolds. Okay, and before we get into today's main story, let's just talk about this. Lil Pump, been friends with him for a few years. Never seen him flex a girl really on his Instagram too much. Well, yesterday he posted this photo. Does that look familiar? Yes, that's the homie Riley Reid. Did I know that they were hanging out? Yes, of course. But I never thought that I would see him post her up on his Instagram quite like this. Very interesting stuff. But also, he posted this video. So, yes, in fact, that was Lil Pump and Riley Reid smoking a blunt from between his toes. I have so much respect for this. This is just incredible stuff for the culture. And people are responding in kind in the comments. I'm not going to show any of them, but the comments are, in fact, going crazy for this one. What do you think? Do you think that Lil Pump and Riley Reid should just tie the knot, just get married, or just get real serious about their relationship? I don't know. Drop your thoughts down below. Anyway, let's get into today's main story. So yesterday, I'm just hanging out at the mall with my family. Everything seems normal. And then all of a sudden, I open Twitter and I just see the craziest news story that I ever could have imagined. ICE arrests rapper 21 Savage and says he's actually from the UK. Now, myself and a lot of other people had a pretty similar reaction to this. A lot of people who are sort of in on the industry were like, damn, those rumors were true. Yes. Years ago, someone told me 21 Savage is actually from the UK, but I never really took it that serious because I never saw any sort of information. I figured if that was true, that somebody else would have to know about it. And yes, in fact, the reports say that 21 Savage's birth certificate reveals that he was born in London in 1992. So the craziest part about this is just the fact that ICE was apparently targeting 21 Savage, and it comes on the heels of a very public performance that he had in which he actually spoke out about immigration reform. So was this entirely a targeted thing to try to take 21 out because he was having a say politically? And it also seems like weird timing because 21 has really changed his life a lot. He's getting more outspoken about social issues. It seems like he's left his violent gang-related past in the past for the most part. And now we have ICE coming after 21, trying to take him out. Not only that, check this out. They released a statement in which they are really trying to convince the public that 21 Savage is some kind of buster and he's really not who he says he is. So this has a lot of people extra upset just knowing that ICE is really trying to target 21 and trying to fuck up his public image. But regardless of how serious this situation is, Twitter did their thing, Instagram did their thing. There was an absolute shitload of memes that were emerging based upon this. A lot of people are suggesting that 21 was actually born on some island that is a territory of the UK, although this birth certificate thing and him being born in London seems to maybe contradict that. I'm not sure which of the millions of memes that I've seen about this situation I should even highlight, but here's one that got reposted on the No Jumper Instagram. 21 Savage, oi governor, say you finally found out my secret. Hey, do you like my English accent? I feel like I did a really, really good job right there. There were even memes like this one here that I guess we could show like 6 seconds of, but I'm not gonna even try to explain this.
The 4 door with the 4 it was 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Basically, everybody was trying kind of get some jokes off while also dealing with the fact that this is a very, very serious situation. And 21 is a very, very beloved rapper. Some people seemed a little bit more shocked than others. For instance, McConan, who really came up in the rap game around the same time as 21, he took to Twitter and he wrote, "So now it all makes sense." Somebody on the No Jumper account responded, "You knew?" And he said, "I'm really from the South Side in Atlanta. That's all I know." I'm guessing that McConan probably heard a lot of those same rumors over the years, just like I did, and he's just as surprised as I was. Or even this tweet from Father where he just wrote, "Dudes was right all these years." So apparently same thing, like he had heard these rumors and just like myself, he didn't really believe it, or at least was skeptical, and then today was the big day where he found out. One person who got more than their fair share of hate over this was Demi Lovato. Yeah, Demi took to Twitter and wrote, "So far 21 Savage memes have been my favorite part of the Super Bowl," and then she was absolutely ripped to shreds for this opinion. This is a pretty clear-cut example of how being mega famous oftentimes means that you can't just joke around on Twitter the way that everybody else does. I know I myself have learned this over the years. Demi Lovato is just way too famous, and she has way too public of a history of her own issues in recent memory. Obviously, this just opened the floodgates for everybody to make heroin jokes to her. Anyway, she got so much hate for this that she then deleted her entire Twitter and is probably doing heroin again right now. And actually, just to make it even more personal, Key, 21 Savage's manager, she actually commented and said that when 21 found out about everything she was going through with her relapse, he was actually wishing her well and saying that he hoped that she got better. So basically, Demi kind of comes out of this looking like a dumbass, even though, to be real with you, she was doing the exact same thing that everybody else was doing, and I have a really hard time finding fault with it. One other walking piece of human dog shit that had a comment about this was Tommy Loren. She posted up a link about the 21 Savage story and wrote, "I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ICE agents ready to deport you." So in case there's any consideration that Tommy Loren might be cleaning up her act or becoming a more well-behaved citizen, here we go, proof that she's still a piece of shit. But of course, Cardi B was not far, and she quote tweeted her and wrote, "Don't make me get my leash," which has earned her well over 360,000 likes on Twitter. Anyway, always nice to find something that can unite our two hip-hop queens, Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj also quote tweeted Tommy Loren and said, "Your obsession with our culture is scary to say the least. I hate giving you the attention you so desperately crave, laughing at people getting deported as if your ancestors discovered America. Are you Native American? You effing clown." Nicki with some bars. I appreciate that. One person who seemed a little bit more concerned than others was Offset. Offset took to Twitter and wrote, "All the memes and shit ain't funny when somebody's going through something. Pray for my dog. Ain't shit funny. His family depended on him." Now, Offset makes a good point. Myself, I did have a couple of puns, I guess you could say, on Twitter, and I was very, very torn. Like, do I just focus on how serious the situation might be, or do we try to have some laughs about the fact that 21 Savage being from the UK and secretly being from the UK is kind of a hilarious concept? Anyway, one other story that has come out of this that people haven't been talking about as much, Young Nudy has also been arrested. At first, there were reports that he was in the same car as 21 Savage, and there are a lot of media outlets still trying to tie the two incidents together. But all we really know is that Young Nudy was arrested and charged with aggravated assault and participation in criminal gang activity. People are saying they definitely were not in the same car together. That part was made up. But yeah, free Young Nudy and free 21 Savage. And one thing I can say, though, is that say this situation goes as badly as possible and say that 21 Savage is forced to live in the UK for a period of time, he's going to be the biggest star in the UK maybe ever. He's going to absolutely fucking take over the whole goddamn region. So it might be kind of a silver lining, but myself, I'm forced to just assume that he's going to be able to get through this situation regardless, even though they are saying that he overstayed his visa by like well over 10 years, which I guess I could see that would be a big deal. Anyway, that's the news for today. Pray for 21 Savage. Also, as long as we're talking about the Super Bowl, which I did not watch, let's just acknowledge the fact that Chance the Rapper starred in a Doritos commercial with the Backstreet Boys. I watched it. He's spitting bars. It was mega lyrical, even though he was kind of talking about eating Doritos throughout the thing. Another star who did a little bit of a promotion for a company was 2 Chainz. He had a Super Bowl ad for Expensify, which is apparently an app that helps you keep track of your expenses. And that song too featured an original verse with him shouting out Expensify in it. And then on top of that, Pepsi. They had a commercial. Lil Jon and Cardi B were both in it. Cardi B basically didn't say a word. Lil Jon said okay a bunch of times, but Michael Scott, aka Steve Carell, from The Office, he was all up in there too. Basically, I guess what I'm saying is commercialism is good. And that's the news for today. Guys, if you enjoyed this, head on over to nojumper.com, cop some merch, let me know you care. Onsomeshit.com, also a great place to pick up some merch. Follow Adam22 on Instagram, @nojumper. Appreciate you guys. Drop a like down below, drop a comment, and we will be back all goddamn week with lots more heat.